Welcome back. It's a long time ago I've been reading on Wikipedia, but I have to delete all my 400. I have 400 web pages on Wikipedia. I was going to read this history about Tesla, but that's a bit boring. I need to make some Danish video about Tesla. So I think I'd like to read this Airbus A320neo. But the sun is shining, I have to lower the blinds. Because it's shining into my eyes. But I have to delete it because I'm playing a computer game. I'm driving this. I started driving American Truck Simulator, and I'm driving another computer game called The Long Drive. So I had like 400 web pages open, so I'll not do that again because I need my computer to play this American Truck Simulator. But my computer is super old. And I drive this game called The Long Drive. But my computer is super old. It's an old Intel Core i5. 8th generation. And old GeForce 1050. So my computer is super old. So I will drive that later. So I have this 400 web page open, so I'll not start to do that again. That's my airline sim game. My Netflix airline sim game. My Wikipedia, my YouTube uploads. And playlist, this truck simulator and driving, and this game, and this now I open, so I'm not going to have 200 web pages open. So I'll just go to my bed and read it and relax. But that's many months ago I did. Then I will make a video on my language Danish after I read it. Then I will drive some computer game later. Yes, I need a minute to get to my bed. So just use this to relax and to learning something new.
Airbus A320neo family. The Airbus A320neo family is an incremental development of the A320 family of narrow-body airliners produced by Airbus. The A320neo family, neo being Greek for new, as well as an acronym for new engine option, is based on the enhanced variant of the previous generation A319, A320, and A321, which was then retrospectively renamed the A320ceo family, CEO being an acronym for current engine option. Re-engined with CFM International LEAP or Pratt & Whitney PW1000G engines and fitted with Sharklet's wingtip devices as standard, the A320neo is 15% to 20% more fuel efficient than prior models, the A320ceo. It was launched on the 1st of December, 2010, made its first flight on the 25th of September, 2014 and was introduced by Lufthansa on the 25th of January, 2016. By 2019, the A320neo had a 60% market share against the competing Boeing 737 MAX. As of November 2024, a total of 10,894 A320neo family aircraft had been ordered by more than 130 customers, of which 3,673 aircraft had been delivered. The global A320neo fleet had completed more than 7.35 million flights over 14.67 million block hours, with one hull loss being an airport safety-related accident. Development, edit. In 2006, Airbus started the A320 Enhanced, A320e, program as a series of improvements targeting a 4-5% efficiency gain with large winglets, 2% aerodynamic refinements, 1% weight savings and a new aircraft cabin. At the time, Airbus sales chief John Lee said, "Who's going to roll over a fleet to a new generation aircraft for 5% better than an A320 today? Especially if another 10% improvement might be coming in the second half of the next decade based on new engine technology." Airbus launched the Sharklet blended wingtip device during the November 2009 Dubai Air Show. The installation adds 200 kilograms, 440 pounds, but offers a 3.5% fuel burn reduction on flights over 2,800 kilometers, 1,500 mi, 1,700 mi. New engine option, edit. See also, CFM International LEAP and Pratt & Whitney PW1000G. Compared to the re-engine improvement of 15%, an all-new single-aisle would have brought only 3% more gain, while high-volume manufacturing in carbon fiber could be much more expensive. Airbus planned to offer two engine choices, the CFM International LEAP 1 and the Pratt & Whitney GTF PW1100G, with 20% lower maintenance cost than current A320 engines. The new engines burn 16% less fuel, though the actual gain is slightly less, as 1–2% is typically lost when installed on an existing aircraft. At the February 2010 Singapore Air Show, Airbus said its decision to launch was scheduled for the July 2010 Farnborough Air Show. On the 1st of December 2010, Airbus launched the A320neo new engine option with 500 mi, 930 kilometers, 580 mi, more range, or 2T, 4,400 pound, more payload, and planned to deliver 4,000 over 15 years. Development costs were predicted to be slightly more than €1 billion, $1.3 billion. The Neo list price would be $6 million more than the CEO, including $3.5 million for airframe modifications and around $0.9 million for the Sharklets. The A320neo was slated for service entry in spring 2016, the A321neo 6 months later, and the A319neo 6 months after that. The 2010 order for 40 Bombardier CS300s, now known as Airbus A220-300, and 40 options from Republic Airways Holdings, then owner of exclusive A319/320 operator Frontier Airlines, pushed Airbus into the re-engine. Airbus crew customers John Lee decided against ignoring the C-Series and allowing it to grow, as Boeing had previously done with Airbus, and instead aggressively competed against Bombardier Aerospace. Introduction was then advanced to October 2015. Airbus claims a 15% fuel saving and over 95% airframe commonality with the current A320. Its commonality helped to reduce delays associated with large changes. In March 2013, airlines' choices between the two engines were almost equal. The new Space Flex optional cabin configuration increases space efficiency with a new rear galley configuration and a smart lav modular lavatory design, allowing an in-flight change of 2 lavatories into 1 accessible toilet. The cabin flex configuration for the A321neo allows up to 20 more passengers without putting more sardines in the can by rearranging the door layout of the aircraft. Total fuel consumption per seat is reduced by over 20%, while the rearranged cabin allows up to 9 more passengers for the A320neo. The first Airbus A320neo rolled out of the Toulouse factory on the 1st of July, 2014, and first flight was scheduled for September 2014. 1. CFM International LEAP 1A engine. 2. Pratt & Whitney PW1100G engine, also known as the Pratt & Whitney GTF. Flight testing, edit. The first flight of the Neo occurred on the 25th of September 2014. Its Pratt & Whitney PW1100G JM geared turbofan, GTF, engine was certified by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, on the 19th of December 2014. After 36 months, the A320neo and A321neo had flown around 4,000 hours for certification of the 2 power plant versions. This is about 3/4 of the certification effort of a new design. Of these 4,000 hours flown, 2,250 were with PW-GTFs and 1,770 with CFM LEAPs. The flight test program was to conclude in 2018 with the completion of A319neo testing. The changes impact flying qualities, performance and system integration. They entailed retuning the fly-by-wire controls and meeting type certification requirements which have evolved since 1988, and helped decrease the minimum V speeds. The Neo is 1.8 T heavier than the CEO, but takeoff and landing performance is the same with a modified rotation law, adjusted wing flap and wing slat angles, and rudder deflection increased by 5 degrees to cope with the higher thrust. The A320neo is half as loud as an A320 at takeoff, with an 85 decibel noise footprint. The LEAP-powered A321neo has 83.3 dB flyover noise, substantially lower than the older CFM 56 and V2500. Entry into service, edit. The first delivery of the aircraft slipped slightly, Lufthansa taking delivery of the first A320neo on the 20th of January, 2016 and deploying it on its first commercial flight from Frankfurt to Munich on the 25th of January, 2016. 200 deliveries were targeted in 2017, but as Pratt & Whitney faced ramp-up difficulties, Airbus expected that 30 aircraft would be parked awaiting engines. Production, edit. The fourth and latest final assembly line in Hamburg was to open in July 2017. 60 A320s should be produced monthly from 2019. With 90 A320neos delivered by October 2017, Airbus acknowledged that it would not attain the 200 target, even with many deliveries in the fourth quarter. More than 40 A320neos were parked without engines, but with most of the engine issues resolved by early 2018, more than half of the A320s delivered in 2018 were expected to be neos. Airbus expected to produce 60 narrow-bodies per month by the middle of 2019 and studied high rates. Airbus confirmed plans to reach 63 monthly from 55 in 2018 and study 70 to 75 monthly beyond 2019, though Safran, one of the 2 partners in LEAP producer CFM, could not commit to higher volumes. In February 2018, after in-flight failures of the PW1100G with its high-pressure compressor aft hub modified, apparently caused by problems with its knife-edge seal. European Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, and Airbus grounded some A320neo family aircraft until they were fitted with spares. As of February 2018, P&W engines had flown 500,000 hours since introduction, and 113 P&W-powered A320neo family aircraft were operated by 8 customers. Airbus then stopped accepting PW1100G engines. Deliveries of GTF-powered A320neos resumed in May after Pratt returned to the original design seal as a quick fix. By the end of June, Airbus expected to have around 100 A320neos awaiting engines and aimed to deliver most of them in the second half of the year, for a total of over 800 aircraft handed over in 2018. In the first 5 months of 2018, 69 had been delivered, 40% of all single aisles, and almost 80% with CFM LEAP engines, but the 22 delivered in May were equally split between the 2 power plants. After the 3-month halt, the goal of 210 GTF-powered deliveries in 2018 was expected to be missed by 30-40 unless Pratt could accelerate production, exposing itself and Airbus to late penalties. Airbus crew Guillaume Fiori aimed to do away with gliders, i.e. airframes without engines, by the end of 2018. Bernstein Research had forecast 50 fewer deliveries than planned and expected a return to normal by 2019. Delivery targets could still be met with other engine options, NEO or CEO, as 210 LEAP-powered jets were planned. After having peaked above 100, the number of aircraft parked awaiting their turbofans declined to 86 by the end of June. The 500th A320neo family aircraft was delivered in October 2018. In July 2019, with the A321neo accounting for 40% of sales, Airbus was examining options for allocating more production capacity to the stretched variant. It acknowledged that ramping up production of the popular Airbus cabin flex configuration was proving challenging. At this time in 2019, all A321s were assembled in Hamburg. One option under consideration would be to repurpose the A380 assembly line in Toulouse. In the first half of 2019, Airbus delivered 294 A320-A320neo family aircraft, of which 71 were A321neos and 163 were A320neos, i.e. A321neos accounted for 30% of neo deliveries. In January 2020, Airbus confirmed that the A380 assembly line is to be converted to a digitally enabled final assembly facility for the A321neo by mid-2022, because of unprecedented demand, in particular for the A321LR and XLR variants. In February, it indicated that it had a clear path to increasing production rates beyond the 63 per month targeted for 2021, to reach 65 or 67 by 2023. In April, Airbus reduced the average production rate to 40 per month due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on aviation from 2020. In February 2021, Airbus set up a separate production line in Hamburg for a 321XLR aft fuselage work, in a facility formerly used to assemble fuselage sections for the A380. The goal is to enable production of the XLR-specific aft fuselage to ramp up gradually without affecting other A320neo family production output. Other A321XLR sections are to be produced at numerous sites: the center wing box at Airbus's Nantes facility, the rear center tank at Premium Aerotech in Augsburg, The nose and forward fuselage built at Steelair Aerospace in Toulouse, then assembled in Saint-Nazaire, and the wings at Airbus Broughton in cooperation with Spirit Aerosystems and FAC, which provide high-lift devices. In May 2021, Airbus targeted a production rate of 45 per month by the end of 2021. 64 by the second quarter of 2023, asked its supply chain to allow a rate of 70 from the first quarter of 2024 and is looking for 75 by 2025. In July 2023, Airbus inaugurated a new final assembly line dedicated to the A320neo family, in the Jean-Luc Lagardère factory in Toulouse-Blagnac, previously used by the A380 assembly line, stopped in 2020. For now it will produce only the A321neo, which has a high demand. Once this new line will be fully operational, Airbus is considering to close one of the two current older lines producing the A320ceo, to open a second A320neo family line in the same factory, which is large enough. Replacement airliner, edit. By November 2018, Airbus was hiring in Toulouse and Madrid to develop a clean sheet successor for the A320. Although its launch was not guaranteed, it was expected to arrive from the middle of the following decade, after the A321XLR and a stretched A320neo Plus, and would have competed with the Boeing NMA that was, at the time, expected to be launched as early as 2019. Service entry would be determined by ultra-high bypass ratio engine developments pursued by Pratt & Whitney, testing its geared turbofan upgrade, Safran. Ground testing a demonstrator from 2021, and Rolls-Royce plc, targeting a 2025 ultrafan service entry. The production target is a monthly rate of 100 narrowbodies, up from 60. At the November 2019 Dubai Air Show, Airbus CEO Guillaume Fiori said the company was considering the launch of a single-aisle program in the second half of the 2020s for an introduction in the early 2030s. In June 2023, Fiori said work had begun on E-Action, a 20 to 25% more efficient successor to the A320neo family, targeted for a 2035 to 2040 introduction and more conventional compared to the Airbus ZEROe hydrogen project. At a Civil Aviation Research Council (COREC) meeting in December 2023, the French government committed €300 million. $330 million per year to support research and development from 2024 to 2027, including for the CFM RISE open fan demonstrator, while support for hydrogen or electric propulsion receives €65 million. In February 2024, Fiori confirmed that the successor aircraft, dubbed Next Generation Single Aisle, NGSA, would be designed specifically to run on sustainable aviation fuel to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. Composite wing, edit. In 2015, Airbus started a new wing project, named Wing of Tomorrow, what, announced as the Wing of the Future program in 2016. A new $12 billion carbon composite wing could be used in the A321neo++, compared to $15 billion for a completely new design. The new wing is made from composite material. It is first seen as an upgrade to the existing, mostly metal A320 family wing, which was already upgraded many times. Airbus has already composite wings on the A350. But this will be an enhanced, new design with highly automated manufacturing suitable for inexpensive high-volume production. Announced in January 2016, a €44.8 million facility was built in Filton, with 300 engineers. The new wing design and tests take place in this Filton facility. Other Airbus locations in the UK, France, Spain and Germany are working with 30 partners on this wing project. In May 2021, Airbus announced that for improved aerodynamic performance the wing will be longer and thinner with folding wingtips to access existing airport gates. By May 2021, assembly of the first demonstrator was to start in the coming weeks, as the project should be completed by 2023 before an eventual product launch. A radical A320 makeover is expected to cost over €4 billion, $4.9 billion, £3.7 billion, significantly less than the estimates of $15 billion to $20 billion for an all-new Boeing design, £11 billion to £15 billion. Due to the increased length and increased lift, the new wings could also be used on an Airbus A322, an A321 lengthened by 4 passenger seat rows, being studied by Airbus. The current A320neo family wingspan of 36 m with an aspect ratio of 9 will be extended by ground folding wingtips to 45 m with an aspect ratio of 14. Additional semi-aeroelastic hinges could lead to 52 m wingspan with an aspect ratio of 18, still fitting in a standard 36 m airport gate. In September 2021, Airbus announced starting the assembly of in total 3 full-size Wing of Tomorrow prototypes. The first prototype was completed in December 2021. The flapping wing section flight tests are targeted to begin in late 2023. In June 2023, GKN Aerospace announced a further progress by delivering the first fixed trailing edge for the Wing of Tomorrow. It is manufactured in a high-rate low-cost resin transfer molding out of autoclave composite process, which supports the targeted low cost of Airbus by avoiding an autoclave. Operational history, edit. By January 2019, 3 years after its introduction, 585 NEOs were in commercial service with over 60 operators, led by Indigo, 87, Frontier Airlines, 33, and China Southern, 26. Lufthansa confirms the PW 16% fuel savings. 21% per seat with denser 180-seat layout up from 168, while Avianca states its leaps are 15–20% more efficient, quieter, reduce oil consumption and routine maintenance. Starting both GTFs initially took 6–7 min up from the A320ceo's 2 minutes, improving to 2–3 min by late 2017, still longer than the CEO. LEAP production bottlenecks led to early delivery delays, with no significant repercussions at Avianca or AirAsia. AirAsia's dispatch reliability is comparable to its CEO's. On the 30th of November, 2021, 2 years after receiving the 1,000th member of the A320neo family, Indigo took delivery of the 2,000th, an A321neo, MSN 10654, at Airbus Hamburg site. As of March 2024, the global A320neo fleet had completed more than 7.35 million flights over 14.67 million block hours since its entry into service and had been contributing to 20 million tons of CO2 saving. Engine and dispatch reliability, edit. Engine vibration affects one GTF in 50, leading to premature replacement, but spare engine pools compete with new production. At Lufthansa, dispatch reliability has remained stagnant since service entry and is below its 99.8% goal, with a utilization rate 20% below its CEO's. P&W cites a 99.91% dispatch reliability for GTF-powered NEOs, higher than other new engine introductions, while Airbus reports a 99.6% dispatch reliability. With engine deliveries resuming, there were expected to be fewer than 10 engine-less NEOs at the end of 2018. Airbus is on track to reach its target rate of 60 deliveries per month by mid-2019.